Help me get to reach 1,000 subscribers. My name is Milo, and for the last month I've been living inside a house that felt less like a home and more like a memory someone forgot to finish. When my wife, Arya, walked out with a suitcase and a vague line about needing space, I braced myself for the usual aftermath: silence, confusion, maybe a hollow kind of hurt. What I didn't expect was the strange, effortless peace that settled into the room she left behind. No sharp words. No Cold War. No navigating invisible landmines. Just me and the quiet, humming like a long-forgotten friend. In the first week, I waited for her call. In the second, I realized it wasn't coming. By the fourth, solitude had shaped itself around me so well that the thought of her return felt like recalling a song I used to adore but couldn't hum anymore. So when she finally pushed the front door open, suitcase dragging behind her, smile stretched a little too carefully, I didn't feel excitement. I didn't feel dread. I just stood still inside myself. She stepped in with that familiar air of someone reclaiming their territory. "Milo," she breathed. "I'm home." I nodded. "Looks like it." Her gaze searched my face, hunting for longing, regret, something she could anchor herself to. I didn't offer any. That version of me didn't live here anymore. She set her suitcase down, tucked her hair behind her ear, her trademark gesture when she wanted to appear soft. "Did you miss me?" she asked, teasing, as if I'd spent lonely nights pacing and wishing for her shadow to fill the hallways again. I gave her a small, polite smile. I didn't even have time to. The words hit her harder than I meant, but I wasn't taking them back. Truth lands how it lands. Her expression tightened, first confusion, then something sharper. Before she could respond, the bedroom door clicked open and two figures stepped out: Cleo and Nova, her twin cousins. Hair rumpled, matching oversized shirts. I had almost forgotten they'd been staying with me the entire month. They'd come for an internship. When Arya left, they asked if they could finish out their last few weeks here. I said yes. They were easy, respectful, quiet. They bought groceries, cleaned after themselves, and didn't turn every conversation into a pop quiz I wasn't prepared for. Arya never knew any of that. She hadn't asked. Cleo froze. "Oh." Nova blinked. "You're back." Arya whipped toward me. "They've been here?" "They didn't have anywhere else to go," I said simply. "Their internship ended yesterday. In our house. For a whole month." "Milo, why didn't you tell me?" I raised a brow. "When exactly? During the calls you never made? The messages you didn't send?" Her mouth curved into a wounded line, embarrassment dressed up as indignation. "That's not fair. I needed time. And I gave it to you," I replied. "But life didn't pause because you walked out." Cleo shifted. "We can leave for a bit, give you two space." But Arya snapped. "No. Stay." All of us blinked. "So they were here the whole time I was gone?" she pressed. "Yes. They kept to themselves. I barely saw them outside of meals." "And you didn't think that was strange? Living with two women while your wife was gone?" I looked at her, tired rather than angry. "Why would I? They're family. And you're the one who left, not them." The air thickened, not with resentment, but with truths we'd avoided for too long. Arya looked at the twins again and something flickered inside her. Not jealousy, not suspicion. Something smaller. "Insecurity." She whispered, "I didn't think you'd be okay without me." There was her truth. Not about love. Not about marriage. But about the pedestal she thought she lived on. "You thought leaving would make me chase you," I said softly. She didn't deny it. "And you didn't," she murmured, almost to herself. "You really didn't." "No." Her shoulders drooped, shrinking in on themselves. I didn't relish it or resent it. I just noticed. "What happened to us?" she asked. "We stopped listening," I said. "We stopped being gentle. We let resentment fill the space between us until silence felt safer than speaking." Cleo and Nova lingered by the hallway, unsure whether to stay or retreat. Nova touched Arya's arm. "We never meant to make anything worse." "You didn't," I assured her. "You being here wasn't the problem. It just showed me something I wasn't expecting." Arya looked up. "What?" "That peace is possible," I said quietly, "and it doesn't require distance. It just needs the right kind of presence." Her eyes shimmered, not manipulative, not dramatic, just human. Fear. Raw and unsteady. "Milo? I came back because I thought I still mattered. Because I thought maybe you'd realize you needed me." "You do matter," I said gently. "But needing you was never the issue. It's the way you left, expecting me to wait in emotional limbo until you decided you were ready again." She swallowed, throat trembling. "And now?" "Now," I said, I'm not sure waiting is love anymore. Sometimes it's self-abandonment. Cleo exhaled. Nova lowered her gaze. They weren't intruding, they were witnessing something fragile and real. Arya wiped her cheek. I didn't mean to hurt you. I know. But intention doesn't erase impact. The four of us stood there in a strange, careful quiet, like the air itself had shifted. Then she whispered, "What do you want me to do?" I didn't answer right away. Not out of punishment. Out of honesty. First, I said, I need the truth. Not the dramatic kind, the real kind. She nodded slowly. And second, I need to know if you came back because you love me, or because you didn't expect this house to stand without you. Her lips parted, but no answer came. Maybe because she'd never asked herself that. Maybe because she didn't know. I think, she whispered. I think it might be both. I sighed, not defeated, just aware. That's what scares me. Cleo stepped closer. Maybe this isn't a moment to decide everything. Maybe it's just a moment to admit what's broken. Nova added softly, and stop pretending it isn't. Arya looked at me, really looked, and all the armor she wore crumbled. I want to fix this, she whispered. But I need you to meet me halfway. For the first time since she left, I saw my truth clearly. Arya, I said, I don't need you to come back. I need you to come home. Those aren't the same. Her breath faltered. And finally she understood.